Oh my God. All right, hey guys, welcome to the show. Hey man, it's Friday. I should be watching high school football, but I'm not. But hey, that's okay. It's kind of chilly out here in Central Texas, but it's way colder, man. I think in Craig, Colorado. I think that's why these guys went to Missouri to get away from the cold.
Actually, we would have been better off in Craig now that we've looked at the situation. Now, we actually come out here because some of our team members needed to go home to their families. Mm-hmm. Decided to come out here and take care of an investigation. Yep. And we actually just got back from a reveal. That's why we're late.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the holiday traffic was heavier than we thought.
Yes, it is, dude. It is crazy out at Walmart. Man, I went to Walmart today, and it was Walmart. They make the parking lot big just for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Any other day, man, it's half of what it is. But dude, that thing, I mean, wall-to-wall cars everywhere. I stepped in there to pick up a couple items that I need for Christmas presents and stuff. Of course, I had to get myself something. You know what I'm saying? But guys, before we get this show started, I'd like to say a quick shout out to everybody on all the different platforms tonight. All you guys that are on Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and my podcast page. All you guys, welcome to the show tonight. We are talking to two gentlemen that are in Missouri, but they're originally from Craig, Colorado. Guys, introduce yourselves to the world and tell the world a little bit about what you guys do.
I'm Les Self. I'm from Craig, Colorado. I'm the founder of Self Paranormal Investigations, and Dean is co-founder. We have an investigation team in Craig and also one in La Plata, Missouri. And we kind of take turns coming out to train everybody up for the Missouri team. And we let everyone kind of go for Thanksgiving. Tonight, we do have a special guest, which I'll have to turn the camera here over to Kelly Shaver. She's been a great part of our team for, about 7 years now?
2 for 11.
Yeah, and he has been on some investigations that have been kind of hair-raising. And she's definitely a great backup, a great asset to the team. And then we have Dean. I'll let Dean introduce himself and explain there.
Hi, I'm Dean, and I've been with the team about 6.5 years now. And we have been on, I've been on, golly, I can't even think, over 600 maybe.
Wow.
I would say close to 6.
Yeah, close to 600 investigations with him. And, I started out with my own experiences when it was starting out at 7 years old. And, but till I found him, I never actually been on, an investigation, a ghost investigation. So I've learned a lot since I've been with Les here on the team.
Oh, okay. Cool, guys. All right, man. Appreciate you guys coming to the show. And if you can turn the camera back over to the young lady, I can speak with her.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. How you doing, man?
No! Oh my!
Oh, I can barely hear. Are you doing okay? Quick question for you. What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Oh, yellow.
Oh, yellow. This is an honor for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go, man. Get this party started.
Yes.
Hey, man, this is going to be a podcast you guys have never, I guarantee you guys have never experienced a podcast like this before.
Okay.
So I hope you guys are ready.
Yes.
For this, step back and let's have some fun. Now, first couple of questions, it's going to be easy. Scientific, it's not going to make you think too much, but are you guys ready?
We're
Yes.
ready.
Yeah.
All right, the gentleman in the blue shirt. Now, you just mentioned that you have over 600 investigations under your belt, correct? Okay. Now, with that much knowledge under your belt, do you think that you actually achieved more than the next investigator sitting next to you?
No.
That's a good.
I
Okay.
think there's a lot more to be learned.
Okay. Now, why would you say there's a lot to be learned?
I don't think that we're ever done learning.
Okay. So being a paranormal investigator is pretty much like living life, as you guys want to say it, because the older we get, the more mature we get, the more educated we get,
Yeah.
and the more wisdom we get.
In this, I'm still considered a baby.
Okay. You know what? 600 under 600 investigations. That is a lot. And from your own perspective, tell me what you learned from from all the investigations that you've been under.
Patience. Patience is a big one. Listening. Yep. That's a lot of, you got to be patient, open up your ears, listen to what's being done, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot. And I have learned a lot. As I said, I've learned a lot from being on the team, and a lot more than what I knew whenever I was, just me out there before all this.
Okay, now I'm gonna stick with you for a minute. Like you said, we're constantly learning, we're constantly evolving in this profession that we're in. And you say we'll never learn enough. But what happened if somebody came up to you and said, I'm going to teach you and show you everything you need to know, everything you ever wondered about being a paranormal investigator, investigating, and so they grab you by your hand, they show you everything that you ever wanted to know. Will that still be enough for you?
Well, as I said, I don't think so, because there's always something new. There's always something new that's to be learned. Just like you said, in everyday life. And, there's always something new. We're going to learn till the day we die.
Do I hear a train in the background?
Yes.
Hey, I love a good freight train, man. Those guys. Hey, man, I am a train. I love following trains. I love my son gets creeps up. He get kind of creeped out because all I do sometimes is sit up and watch train videos on YouTube.
You need to go to La Plata, Missouri, and watch the trains. There's 82 trains that go through a day, and they're half a block from the house.
Woo!
Live streamed.
Yep.
Man, I can imagine. Hey, you know what? I always see those Tampico boxcars, frozen boxcars. I like to just kidnap one and just drink all the Tampico out of them. I mean, oh God, yes. Just if you guys ever see one of those, man. I mean, there's rows and rows and rows of freight trains full of nothing but orange juice.
Yeah.
Where that orange juice is going, nobody knows. But it's going somewhere. Guys, okay, now I've been investigating for over 5 years, and I honestly can say that turmoil going on right now within the younger generation. How do you guys feel about the younger generation of paranormal investigators that are coming up in the world right now?
You know, I think it's kind of a split. It's like any generation of anything, you've got multiple views.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that have the classic view,
Mm-hmm.
the classic morals of it. And even from my generation when I started, it was a pretty divided area. And it's all in how grounded you want to be and how much you want to debunk. We debunk too much. We debunk too hard. And Kelly's actually one that's here to kind of give our debunking. She's like, you debunked too much. That was some stuff right there. And I can't, she said, scared the shit out of her. I can't.
I didn't believe in it.
She wasn't really a believer. See, and this is what I love about our team. Both the Colorado team, the Missouri team, we have people that were skeptical, even some, I could say, non-believers. And until they were able to have their firsthand experiences, there's that. So I don't know if I could go by today's generation, any generation. I think it's just person to person view.
Person to person view. Okay, now since you said person to person view, let's bring Hollywood into the equation, because Hollywood has a lot to say and a lot to do with this young generation today. Now, with those guys, with Hollywood, not as been as open about paranormal investigating ever since some of the major shows are no longer available. Would you say that, I mean, because there's always reruns. Man, these kids are watching this stuff. So are you saying that Hollywood actually got what they're doing completely right, or what they're doing is completely wrong?
What Hollywood is doing, my personal opinion, is completely wrong. They Hollywood things up. They scare people. They add intimidation to it. And actually, not throwing you under the bus. Right. I drive a bus. Not throwing you under the bus. They have made people unrightly scared of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, poor Kelly. We're from La Plata, Missouri. My parents moved to Craig, Colorado. When my dad was the first of my parents to pass away, and we were trying to figure out where to bury him. And when things, asked him where he wanted to be buried, and he said, "If I'm buried in Craig, you'll get to see me every day. If I'm buried in La Plata, Missouri, I won't be seen every day. I couldn't be seen every day." But he said, That's where my brothers and mom and dad are. And now, when my parents, before they were married, they went to the cemetery and on Memorial Day. And dad said, "Do you want to go to your family or my family first?" Mom says, "We can go to your family." Well, he pulled up and she says, "I thought we were going to your family first." He says, "We are." Well, they got out. Their cemetery plots ran together, the Selfs and the Chadwicks. And there was exactly 6 spaces in between. So mom and dad ended up having 4 kids. That left 6 spaces. So it all ran together. So when dad said, you can bury me wherever you want, we decided to do La Plata. Well, I had to drive him out here and everything, and the spots, ran together. So we ended up that the family got me off track.
I know, right?
Everybody thinks that there's bad things with the hauntings.
Right.
There's nothing to it. Your family is your family. You get buried where you're buried. There's nothing spooky about anything. Kelly, she was.
I gave up on it because I didn't think he was gonna make that throw. But hey,
because I had brought mom and dad.
shout out to that guy.
You're in the van. She fell down, hit her head on concrete. That's where I was going with this.
Right. Because she didn't want to touch the van.
She was afraid to touch the van. Hollywood taught her death was something to be afraid of. Nothing with that to be afraid of.
Right.
Mom and dad would have loved Kelly. But because she had watched too much Hollywood TV, too many ghost stories, my Hollywood ghost story, she thought if she touched that van, she was going to die. So she'd rather fall back, hit her head on concrete, and take a chance at a head injury.
Right.
So I disagree with what Hollywood has taught everybody. I really do.
So what do we need to do to make sure the next generation of paranormal investigators are straight and narrow? Make sure they're sticking to the road, staying on the foundation that we've laid for them and that was laid before us, and make sure that foundation do not start to crack.
I don't know if there's anything we could ever really do, because I'm sure my views are not in line with other people's, which is fine, because you know what? When I first started, I had certain views that I didn't think I would budge on. And matter of fact, this morning when I woke up and I was laying in bed and I thought, no, I can't believe I have this view. I didn't think I'd ever have that view because I was so steadfast. But as I've learned more, and I learn more every day, and like Dean said, we're never through learning.
Right.
I would just hope that, and I know, Hollywood has to have their thing for everybody wants scary. Everybody wants, that thrill. But I would hope there might be some kind of a medium we can get that this is the truth and this is what you watch for an adrenaline rush.
Switch off to make that.
It's just really kind of hard to balance your view on that. But
right.
I don't want people to be so scared of the paranormal. We're learning how to be psychic medium.
My goodness.
And the more we learn about mediumship, there's so much comfort there, and everybody's so afraid of it.
Now, would you guys say it's okay to have different opinions, like you're saying, but we have to have the foundation was set. It's okay to have different opinions on how to do certain things. I totally agree with you guys on that. But that foundation on how to do things and do things correctly has been set for our paranormal forefathers since the early 1900s and before. And this generation is so twisted on doing things their way instead of the right way. And that's when I'm talking about the cracks on the foundation is starting to get a little bit wider, getting a little bit deeper. And we need individuals such as myself and you guys to show these guys how things are done correctly. Now, mind you, there's certain things that this generation is doing now that it's going to take somebody at home to correct. Now, it's going to take the big one, respect, because I see so little of it in today's kids and generation. You know, so it's going to take somebody to show these kids how to just respect not only those that have been gone for hundreds of years, they got to learn how to respect themselves as well and know what to do, what not to do, how to do it, when to do it. But I don't see that. Most of these next generation paranormal investigators they're not coming up in that mother and dad house home. They're coming up in single parent house homes where that father figure is not there. So without having that positive mindset of a father, they're going to tell their elders whatever. You know, I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that. You can go do this. How many times have you guys seen a kid act a knucklehead in the Walmart where we all know they need a firm hitting on the backside to get them straightened out?
I drive school
Yes.
bus. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
So,
Like you said, their respect, because the other side, even though they're not living, all right, they once were alive.
mm-hmm.
They deserve respect, even though they're gone. They're not here. Even though they're on the other side, you still treat them with respect. And that's what we do. That's what a lot of our team, other teams do. But we've also run across teams that, hey, you do this, no, you don't do it. It's like, would you do this? You treat them like you would an adult here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Would you do this? Can you do this? You don't tell them to do it.
Exactly. The words that I was raised on, and I raised my kids to say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yes.
No if and there's no in between. It's either or. I'm not. My kids are grown, but if I see them saying something otherwise, going smack upside the head. No question asked, because that's not the way I was raised. I raised them. But these kids today,
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
yes,
Whatever.
No, so crazy.
they think that we owe them something.
Right. I agree.
We don't owe you guys anything. You guys are the future of something that was created long before we were even born.
Right.
So we laid the foundation for you guys. We the only thing that we ask out of you guys is to continue the legacy that we set before you.
Mm-hmm.
And Hollywood, YouTube, TikTok, Clapper. If you guys have been on all these platforms, you can imagine how things are right now. Things are chaotic.
Yep.
Things are really chaotic. Now, back before we've even had social media, we wouldn't be having this problem.
That's right. We wouldn't. Our parents wouldn't let us have these problems.
We wouldn't have these problems. As being in paranormal,
Down for a month if we
yeah. Yeah. And just think, let me ask you a question. Do you think things would be the same if social media wasn't so heavily influenced on certain things today? How do you think the world would be without social media?
Social media, phones, you know, yeah, we would still be, I think, better like in our time, in our
Mm-hmm.
Gen X,
That's all gonna crash.
right? Uh, Gen Z, okay. Uh, you know, if they were raised like we were with the manners and but yeah, this social media, it has really put a number on our kids nowadays. I do.
I think it crippled the paranormal community as a whole because we depend on it so much. And I think we need to sit down and evaluate everything that our community is putting out, how we put it out, where we put it out. You know, because everything that we do, it's not for likes and clicks and certain things. You know, some of us really care about how we present our evidence. We don't put it out there and say, "Hey, this is that is this," and then we try to modify it, you know, to get a little spookiness out of it, put some scary music into it, just to get more clicks and views. No, I've never done that.
Things, well, of course, recently, I say recently, as in the last year or two, that's come out is all these kids wanting to be dogs and cats in school and use a litter box in school. Where the does this come from?
I have no clue, my friend. It's one of,
This is the kind of what we're living in now is, and they're accepting this in schools and in the government.
Well, the folks need
You know,
to slap in the head.
yeah,
you know,
So
I think
yeah, it's dwindling down on the whole society, whether it's just paranormal or just everyday life. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah,
That
this is
nigga barbecue chicken.
our-
Yeah, I know.
letting our kids become to one day rule our country. You know,
yes.
it's like, do I really want this?
Mm-hmm.
This because what's it's come to this, what's it going to come to next?
Right. How far down do y'all really want to go down the rabbit hole? Because if this generation is out of control and the next generation, what do you think they're looking at? They're not looking at us and what we're bringing to the table. They're looking at the guys now and seeing what they're doing. So once that spiral starts, it's just going to keep going down and going down and going down. At some point,
I swear, brother. Nonsense.
you know, paranormal investigating would be an afterthought because it's been so diminished. Nobody would even think about doing it.
Oh my God.
Right. But yeah, like you said, it's I mean, if this is what we're looking at now, we can already see what our future is going to be with the next generation of children,
Mm-hmm.
young adults. And like you said, it's just going to keep going down instead of getting better unless
Right.
somebody wants to stop
Bags,
doing
I
it.
get this one.
Yes. Now, what is the one thing that we need to do besides educate our kids and help them understand that what we do, we take serious? There's one thing that I always think about, and I think about it constantly, that somebody in our paranormal community needs to do this. And I'm not saying it's going to be me or you guys or some other team that I have on a podcast 10 years from now. But somebody needs to step up and represent us as a whole. And so people can take us more seriously.
Right.
And we're able to sit at the scientific community table and say, hey, we are here. We are representing a certain community. And even though the scientific world believes that that we're full of crap half the time, the reason why they think we're full of crap is nobody believes in us. There's nobody sitting at the table representing us.
Right.
So what do you guys think about that?
Well, I think again, this is just my opinion. I'm one person, okay? But I think we really need to go back to basics with our kids, with like our team or paranormal. Start teaching, hey, this is the way it is done, and not what we were talking about earlier, Hollywood. Okay, Hollywood is a big thorn in our sides with a lot of stuff that is going on with the paranormal and with kids nowadays, because they're learning from TV, they're learning from movies instead of learning from the parents and from real world people. They don't. And TV and movies is not real, but they believe that it's real because they're not taught that it ain't.
Right. So why is it so when ghost hunters, no matter where those guys go, they always get big praise. Everybody wants that autograph. Everybody wants to say, "Oh man, you guys have did so much to the community for our community. You guys, you put everything out there." But did they really put everything out there? Because
Pictures is the ones that supposedly put everything out. Ghost hunters, especially when they first started Ghost Hunters Taps, they showed episodes where there was nothing, maybe where there was a little, but Ghost Adventures is like, oh my God, look at that! Didn't even blow back, all those ones that just freaked out.
Yeah, they're Hollywooding it up.
They Hollywooded it up because all the investigations we've had, maybe two, which one of them Kelly would got to go on, and
two out of almost 17 years, right? 16 years.
Yeah, and it was one of those that it wasn't even as bad as the make out on Ghost Adventures,
Oh boy.
And Taps are the ones that I've watched the most. I've only watched one or two of the others, and I can say that some of the others, I'm not wanting to bring up names. Once again, I'm not condemning anyone else, but their investigation techniques just don't match with what I believe to be true.
It's like, going back to Ghost Adventures, we don't need a nun and a priest to follow us on every investigation because it's going to be and
that was just a limited amount. But yeah, and then that I'm just going to say I questioned their integrity of the ones that they had claimed or stated, to be. But, and there's paranormal around everyone every day, whether you realize it, want to acknowledge it. It's all a bit of a different story.
Right.
And, I think in some situations, the more you acknowledge it, sometimes the more you, for lack of a better term, sometimes play it up.
Now, okay. let's stay on the whole taps thing. Now, at some point, and I'm not all the way totally against the guys, but at some point, they saw their ratings dropping a little bit, so they had to go down that Ghost Adventures scenario. At one point of their years, they were on TV. They started, fabricating things, and so on and so on. We all can agree with that, right? I mean, at one point that did happen.
No, I cannot say that they fabricated things, not Taps ghost hunters.
That's a good debate, man. Oh, I'm open up for a good debate on this one. Can you tell me why would you think that?
Let's see here, because number one, I'm a Taps family member. And I will say, especially Grant, he wasn't out to intimidate and scare people.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
So that's those things that I can say there. And if we need to go down this road too much further, then I think I could end this interview.
Well, I'm just trying to get things going here. In the interview, it's not one of those things that I do. I ask questions, and it's a civil conversation. That's that's what a podcast is about. We can agree or disagree. That's what a podcast is all about. You know what I'm saying? I'm neither disagreeing or agreeing with you. I'm just asking a specific question. Did they or did they not go down that road once before?
And I can honestly say, no, I do not believe they did. They definitely didn't head down the Ghost Adventures.
No. See, I did not say they completely go. I said they did what it took to keep their ratings up. I didn't say anything about Ghost Adventures because we all know what they're about.
I can actually say no that they didn't, because that's why they left sci-fi.
Right.
Because they wouldn't do
what sci-fi wanted them to, which was Hollywood it up.
Yep.
Okay, now see, that's I ask specific questions, then you give me your honest opinion. This is how that works. I respect your opinion, your answers, and we can move on with that. As far as ending a podcast, that's something I don't do because I like a good debate. Your opinions matters to my guest. It matters to me. So I don't know where that came from. But anyway, guys, next question is, what kind of paranormal team are you guys? There are so many different levels of paranormal teams out there. What level are you guys?
I think we would like to say we are grounded. We definitely do not want to strike fear in anybody unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
We try to offer the most reasonable results.
Okay.
The most grounded ways to handle them. And if it's something that we don't believe we can handle, or in any case, something that we're not qualified for, we'll be the first to hand it off to someone that is more qualified to handle it. Or I guess even if we need help understanding and we're willing to learn more, we'll reach out to a group that is better qualified, or not even a group necessarily, but a religious leader, or even a couple of times we've reached out to the medical field.
Oh, wow.
We've been able to find out that it's not. Okay, now when I say when it's not paranormal,
the glaze is so crazy talking about
a way to address that, because sometimes whatever isn't paranormal can be paranormal. We say paranormal as far as spiritual, but sometimes medical issues can become paranormal. Paranormal just above the normal.
And give me a percentage on most of your cases that were medical compared to paranormal.
What do you
I'm
say,
gonna-
3 or 4?
Yeah, is very, very low. Because there are people that are on medications that,
Well, not even medicated. They don't
But-
even know they need to be on medication.
right? Well, that
sometimes.
too. But there are medications that make you hallucinate. There's
Exactly.
things that make, but that's just it. And it's everyday. They're everyday medication. I'm not talking recreational. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
day medication.
And not only that, guys, we don't know what these pharmaceuticals are putting in these medication today. I mean, some of these side effects are horrific. You got a heart problem and you take that medication for your heart, but it makes you hallucinate. It makes you drowsy. It messes with your head a little bit. It calms you down, but yet you need that medication for your heart.
Right.
It's kind of crazy on how pharmaceuticals are doing things these days. And and with that being said, would you guys agree that since pharmaceuticals are able to do that, the cases in residential cases has gone up to a lot since the pharmaceuticals are putting this stuff into the medication these days.
Well, we've actually, 2 cases? We've had someone with what they call wet glaucoma,
Oh, yes.
or I'm sorry, wet
Right.
macular degeneration.
Right.
They were taking an oral medication, and both of them ended up having an adverse. Not saying this happens with everybody or most people.
Mm-hmm.
How many people it happens with, but we've had 2 people that were taking this medication for their macular degeneration, and it made them have hallucinations. And right there doing an investigation with all of our equipment, they were out of their mind.
They were
Right there.
And it wasn't until we dug a little bit deeper, because we're like, okay, we're not hearing it, we're not seeing it, we don't have anything on any of our equipment. Which both of those investigations, we had at least seven pieces of
7 or
equipment.
more. Yes.
There was nothing we could prove any paranormal, but they were scared beyond their wits. And the one thing that we found in common with both of those cases
Was the medication.
was the medication. And when they changed medication habits, they no longer have those experiences. Now, we don't know how many people might have that reaction. We have no way of anything, but when both of them changed, and this was the funny thing is, this was within 2.5, 3 weeks. Both of them had started taking the medication, and when they stopped taking the medication, they both quit having those experiences.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hey guys, let's talk about the community that you guys live in. Leslie, you're from both, am I right? You're from LaPorte and Craig. Let's start with Craig. What's the population of Craig?
Craig's about 13,000.
13,000. Now, tell me a little bit about the community.
That's what we're talking about right there. Good heart, good fight.
It's definitely a coal mining community.
Yeah, ranching,
What?
coal mining. Yeah.
3 coal mines, ranching, farming going on around that area. Now, because of going green and everything, they're talking of shutting down the power plant mines. Some of the coal mines are going to stay open to some capacity and shut out by that's kind of that community out there in Craig.
Okay. 13,000. So you would say everybody would know everybody.
Yeah, close. I'll say everyone thinks they
Mm. Okay, so how do you and Seth Paranormal reach out to your community and tell them, hey, I'm here. If you need me, I'm a phone call away. What do you guys to do that to reach out to them?
Pretty much I started out as word of mouth, and it's still pretty much
And
word
it's
of
still,
mouth.
it's still going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can walk out, go to we have at least 7 to 10 people every time we walk out the door. Hey, what are you doing? Have you had and then, hey, you know what? I heard so and so down the street. They heard something in their home. Hey, you want to go talk to them and maybe help them out and go do an investigation there?
That's good.
Here's the thing: we definitely honor privacy.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody says on the paper we give when we do an investigation, do you want this publicized? Do you not want it publicized? How much of it do you want publicized? People will say, we've seen okay, this is a small community. We've seen your car sitting outside somebody's house. Now, you think that's bad in Craig. You come to La Plata, Missouri, 380 people. They don't think it was your car. They dang well know.
No, it's your car.
Has Colorado plates, and you were saying,
wow. Wow.
yeah.
That is crazy. Now, have you guys, when you guys reach out to, hold on, let me back up. Without social media, without word of mouth, how else would you guys reach out to the community in Craig?
We've done some radio. We've done some.
We fumbled, recovered, and didn't even score.
We've done some fundraisers. We went to. One of the best things we ever did, and we didn't do it for word of mouth advertisement. We did it because someone was having a baby shower and wanted us to come there and see
Here we go.
to the baby.
The other side tell the sex of the baby.
Yeah, and see if their past loved ones had knew the sex of the baby. And I think that was one of our
What are y'all doing?
best fundraisers / advertisers.
Oh.
Did not mean for it to be an advertiser. Someone asked for us to go. They offered to pay us. We said, we'll do it because we knew the people, of course.
Right.
Not too long after that, we even had birthday.
Yeah, we done it. And holy cow.
Not ready for this.
One of the things that we never even thought. We just did it because, we're friends with him. We're going to do it. And, well, we ended up with more business from those things than we could have ever imagined. So,
No, why is he so bad?
Because of the things that we go to do just for fun or to help out people end up being our biggest word of mouth.
Okay. Hey, man, that's great that you guys are doing that, man. Community is the best thing that a paranormal team can be a part of, because without the community, you got nothing.
Right.
You don't have anything. Now,
Community.
have you guys, how big is Craig? Can you give me square area-wise? Is it big enough to have a historical society involved there?
Yes.
Have you guys reached out to them or contacted them for anything?
We have
A couple of times. A few times.
I'll say several times.
Yeah.
We reached out to Dan Davidson, Northwest Colorado Museum. Dan Davidson, he is a savant when it comes to the history of Northwest Colorado, not just Craig, but Northwest Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. Both communities, La Plata and Craig. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, but they're both very good hometown communities with people willing to share their heritage, their their history, everything.
I thought about it. Nah.
Craig has a far better person, Dan Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
for digging into the past and sharing everything. So Dan Davidson has definitely gave us a lot of information we've needed
That's
for the Golden Cavi
More
restaurant.
bald head.
We've investigated the popular bar.
Just residents.
Yeah, even we can't even count the amount of residents. You okay, Kevin?
Yeah, I got cough. Get a cough drop.
Okay.
Sorry.
But even the amount of residences that Dan Davidson has helped us with,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's totally amazing what he has come up with in our history.
Okay.
Does he like provide just that residence or that business, but he'll also, hey, well, in the next home or in the next building over or just down the street, this has happened too. So maybe what's going on there is a reflection of what's going on had happened here. So maybe the spirit is there from down the street, or
Right.
I mean, which he's popped up with a few different that I know of anyway, since I've been with the team, a few different scenarios like that. And lo and behold, it was right. He was right. It's like they were from, the spirit was from down the street. They just happened to be there. And
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Hey guys, let's talk about religion a little bit. How big do you guys think religion plays a part into paranormal investigating?
Well,
Damn, you put that boom on me. Ain't chill.
one religion from another, but I can say I don't know if I should say religion or spirituality.
Well, spirituality.
That's one thing that we have seen in
I for sure be pressed the wrong button.
say 90% of our investigation, better than 90%, are people's religious belief, spirituality. And once again, in the last year and a half that we've begun the mediumship, that's another part of it that we can say there's
Why did he catch the ball and go backwards so?
spirituality into that.
14-5?
Right.
So you guys have never had the pencil pointed at you, huh?
I'm sorry, the clock was chiming. I couldn't hear you.
You guys ain't never had the pencil pointed at you, huh?
Not. I mean, maybe in passing a few words or looks or something, but never degraded or berated straight at us. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he over here in La La Land and shit.
The local pastor, y'all shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be saying this. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God, really?
Have several of them say, hey, will you come and do out?
We've had two pastors ask us to come and do their house. And yeah. Now,
Oh, wow.
there have been in Hannibal, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, are the two that stand out in my mind that we went to do an investigation, and it was a very public one. And we did have the two different, it wasn't the same, two different spiritual people stand outside of our investigation and boo us. And, once again, they don't understand my relationship with God. I don't understand theirs. And if their God tells them they can't ask for help in something that is frightening, scaring, or condemning them, I'm sorry. Because as I was taught from my mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, Baptist, Presbyterian, you ask for help and God's going to help you. And that's what I want a lot of people to understand. I'm glad you asked this question. I don't know every religion. I don't claim to know every religion, and I don't condemn any religion. If that's what brings you closer to God, our maker, or your God, your maker, whatever it be, great. But
Oh my god, I see it and just say, man, he's not gonna throw it. Throw the twice like fuck.
ask for help.
Yes.
Mm,
I totally agree with you on that. That would be, I mean, to be honest with you guys, Cedar Park, Texas is a very conservative town. I live in a smackdown conservative, whatever that you want to call it. And we're the only paranormal investigating team here. I've had so many people call me and tell me this is going on, that's going on, and are you guys able to come out, ease my fears of me not wanting to be in my house? And I'm like, sure, we can do that. But 24 hours later, I'll get a phone call saying, well, no, I don't want you guys to come because I don't want you guys to think I don't want nobody to see you out here. And they are so worried more about their neighbors saying something than actually sleeping comfortably at night. That's something I could never understand. Because if I can't sleep comfortably at night, it's going to be a problem.
We actually have two incognito vehicles, one in Colorado and one in Missouri, because they're both communities. We do not have stickers on the side of the vehicle. Investigation, so that people don't suspect we've been there. And I mean, that's really sad. I was always brought up, you're my mom and dad. You don't treat anybody badly.
Mm-hmm.
Agree with what they're doing. You don't have to shame them, but you don't have to support them. And exactly how I still live my life. And why would somebody not understand that he was having a problem or she was having a problem and they need help? They need to feel safe. They need to feel that God's reaching out to them, whatever their belief system may be. But because Self Paranormal was at your door,
so right?
Because and that's one thing. I don't advertise, but once again, because it's a small town, being on the school bus, I've had only two, been with the school district over 7 years. But I've had two cases that the kids have come up to me and said they had a problem, and their parents. So they asked Les what to do. Now, only one was I able to help successfully. I wished it could have been two, but it was great to have that reach out. I really feel it was because of the stigma of the paranormal.
Yeah. I was going to say, we've had one person that has rescheduled. What, 7, 8? I've lost count.
At least 8 times.
At least 8 times. Say, oh yeah, let's set a date, a time, and an hour before we're supposed to be there. No, I changed my mind. Let's read. Let's schedule it in a date. Comes right down. No. Okay,
And we understand.
No, we're not. It's just that it's like we have them set here on the side. Well, it's about time for them to call.
Right? Okay. That's wow. Have you guys ever been on an investigation where you didn't use any equipment? The only thing you guys used was your internal devices.
Not just no, because the reason why we don't like to do that is because he could feel sorry for the homeowners, and she could be like, "I don't like them. They seem evidence." we have stuff that we can say, this is what our recorders caught, a voice
Mm-hmm.
camcorder, the Frank's box, whatever. Now, here's what we have. You decide if that's what you want to believe. And then that way they have evidence what we caught, but not, well, he felt this and she felt that.
Okay.
Then that's just
Great question.
hearsay, right? You know, there is no evidence to back that up.
Right.
Now,
Wait.
what I mean, we'd like to have the evidence. We'd like to hear or the cameras see. And so when we go to them, we can say, look, this is what we caught. It says it's your aunt, it's your uncle, it's your grandparent, your mom, your dad, whatever, your brother, your sister. So they can go, oh, well, you know, they're more at ease. And I think, I mean, like I said, there's one since I've been on the team, two, I believe, since he started the team. Has there ever been anything bad? Always been a family member, the person that owned the home or the business before, and
there's been some object attachment, but it hasn't been bad.
Yeah, it is. As I said,
I see why Nebraska ain't win too many games.
Back to Hollywood. Hollywood saying, "Oh, ghosts! It's all bad. It's all it's all out to get you." And what?
Well, see, and something else that I would like to add too. I think I'd mentioned earlier. It was on this show. Catherine Dolly. She was a psychic medium that joined our team. Unfortunately, she recently passed. Now she was in a different country. She was in England. She used to be in Ireland, went to England. There were some cases that we would ask her to call the homeowner via Facebook Live or Zoom, whatever, and she would do a walkthrough.
Okay.
Now, sometimes before, sometimes after, we let the homeowner pick whatever they wanted, and we would do our findings separate, and we would never talk to each other.
That's right.
And that was another thing that gave everything validity. We would have her way, we would have our way of getting information, but it would all come together. And that's kind of, we had started before Catherine died. I used to and come to find out you didn't have to be born with a gift. Everybody has the capability of being a psychic medium. So we asked Catherine to start teaching us, and unfortunately, shortly after,
I'm getting cooked by the non-skilled niggas.
Is that your TV?
The tight end and the running back.
We hear a gentleman screaming and talking really loud.
Yeah, it's very, very annoying.
You got me.
Yeah, there it was.
It's been happening since the beginning of the show, and it's finally he's
Oh, wow.
Can take it.
Interesting.
Oh, it's like someone in football and cheering them on.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Anyway, so maybe I thought maybe it was my medium thing. My mediumship thing's been off the wall lately. You hear?
Yeah. Okay. I was just saying, well, he has the picture. Yes, right there.
I don't hear anything.
Now he's singing.
Bounce.
No, because I was like, your roommate is rude as heck. This is not a good podcast.
Oh, shit. No, that's not my roommate. I didn't even think you guys can hear it, because when I turned around, I didn't hear him say anything.
Oh, really?
No.
Since I've been like, you roommate's a butthead, dude.
I thought somebody was in an office or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like, dude, you had some person listening and they were just making comments throughout the whole thing.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
I wish I would have said something sooner, but I'm
Yeah, I mean, if y'all hear that, then that's clear on the other side of the room. You guys, I mean, your mic must be really good. That is crazy. Well, okay, guys. Sorry about that.
gonna hear it.
Well, I'm testing out these new headphones. Normally, I don't even. I usually wear these with the mic in them, but I spent quite a bit of money for these things, so I'm testing them out. I use them for my parabolic. I bought them for my parabolic, but I'm testing them out tonight. Okay, guys, couple more questions, man. I'm gonna get you guys out of here. The mind of a child, Leslie. You are with children majority of the day. What do you think about the mind of a child?
I tell you what, the mind of a child is very pure, innocent, accepting, and I have worked in many different other positions at the school other than bus driving, lunch, para, handicap specialist.
He said, "Oh, football! I was just better getting there."
You hear that going on?
Hey,
Loud, loud, loud. It's like he's sitting right next to you.
oh, yeah, these things really must be working if y'all can hear that, because he's way over there. Okay, as you were saying, sir.
But there's so many things
He tweets out of his mom.
that the kids can hear that we can't. And I totally, totally believe this and know this, especially at one point being in a certain position at the school and driving the bus. Kids at different levels and different I don't know how to say it other than level.
I read the scores background.
They can sense more than what we can. And they have, I'll say, a divine communication with the other side.
Okay.
And sometimes it's comforting, even to us adults. If you listen on the right level, they give you what you need for yourself or a loved one. And that is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That they are able to offer.
Well, I want to kind of add a little bit to that there. Just, not a whole lot here. But we were doing an event and guests had come in and, they gave a few dollars here and there donation and to do the investigation with us. And we were about an hour and a half in. No flashlight, no Frank's box, no K2 hits, nothing, no EVPs. I mean, just absolutely dead. And this one couple had brought, what was he, 12, 13 years old? 13-year-old son in. And, with him, he's like, oh, man, he said, I wanted something to go on and everything. He said, you mind if I hold the K2 meter? And as soon as he touched that K2 meter, it lit up. The flashlights came on. The Frank's box started going. I mean, and we had an investigation just when he touched the K2 meter.
6-hour investigation.
Yeah, 6-hour investigation. Nothing
Oh, wow.
touched that.
That is crazy.
So,
Yeah.
the mind of a child, you bet.
Yeah,
the spirit of a child, right.
Unbelievable, dude. Man, and people ask me, would you go back and do it over again? If I knew the knowledge that I have in my brain now, and if I can carry that back with me as a child, oh, dude, I'll be the world's greatest paranormal investigator because I would tap into every little thing I can possibly dream about. And,
Like,
it's weird because NSPS TV is trying new techniques. We're trying new things every month. So a child, we're putting a child and a dog together. We all know that animals are gifted also. They have the sight. They can sometimes hear things we can't hear. They can see things we can't hear. A child is the same way. So if you put both of them together without harming the child or the animal and see exactly what is going on in a certain location, I think that can be groundbreaking.
right.
But it's really hard finding a child that a parent will agree to that. But anything's possible.
Right.
Anything is possible. It can actually, if we can get that to happen, I think it would be something unique.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Now, an animal. Would you guys consider using an animal as a part of your organization?
We have already. We've used a dog on our investigation, actually a couple of times, just to, not the whole investigation, but we just kind of took them around and used to see if it had picked up where an energy might be.
Mm-hmm.
We have a cat.
Oh, and twice a cat. That's right. Now, I think the cat gave us more than what the dog did.
Well, I'll say
Dog
the
gotta be
cat
trained.
the cat was more vocal. How's that?
Okay.
The cat was more vocal. The dog was more signal.
Okay.
Makes
That
sense.
yeah. Okay.
Through eyes
That's
and-
that's about right. So
Okay.
I kind of like what you said. Whenever I was a kid, if I could go back to when I was a kid, me 7 years old, and know then what I know now, I'd be like you. I'd be one hell of an investigator.
Yeah, one hell of an investigator, guys.
Yeah, when I was 7, I died.
Uh-huh. Oh wow.
Yeah, and I died for an hour and a half. I drowned. And when I came back, I've been able to see spirit. And so, like you said, if I would know then what I know now and apply it to then, yeah, I'd be like you. I'd be one heck of an investigator.
Yeah, one heck of an investigator. Guys, you guys live up in North. Craig is actually Northwest Colorado. Have you guys came across any, or have you guys done any Native American investigations?
There is a battleground. It's in a town called Meeker,
Mm-hmm.
where soldiers and Indians did battle, and so yes, we have been there. We have done an investigation there twice. Now, where we actually live, the sand rocks that surround our town was also known for Native Americans. And so we have actually caught drums chanting.
Oh wow.
Yes. So, I mean, we've actually picked it up and investigating in the house out there. It has come through. The drums. I mean, it's like, okay, so, we know they're here still.
Right. Wow, that must have been loud if you guys were able to hear that.
Yes, it was, and I mean recorder picked it up, the cameras picked it up, so it's like, okay, yeah, they were here. I think there was even one investigation that he did with a lady that he had went to school with. She ended up she had a dream catcher that was actually haunted, and they found out through the investigation and the Indian Native American that was attached to it. So they actually had to get rid of it in order to cleanse her home of the energy that was there, because it was giving off very bad energy.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Let's talk about urban legends. Do Self Paranormal investigators believe in them?
Urban legends. To an extent, yes. If we can prove it, we really believe in it. It's like, oh, that would be cool.
But would you investigate it?
It's actually there,
Okay. Now,
done some that we've actually, we've caught something that has to do with this. So yes, by where we live is oh gosh, I wish he was back in here. My mind's going blank here.
that's okay.
The UFO shoot, I can't think of the name of it's over in Roosevelt, Utah.
Dugway.
Huh?
Dugway?
No. Wes, what's the town, or what's the thing over in Roosevelt, Utah? Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, Skinwalker Ranch. Okay.
Yeah, which isn't too far away from us.
Interesting.
We've actually been there. Well, not in there. We the outside perimeter at the gate, and we have actually caught things.
Oh, wow.
From the Skinwalker Ranch.
I bet you that'd be interesting. All right, two more questions, and I'm going to get you guys out of here. Question number one is big debate among people that come on my show is, do you guys believe that weird things are going on in cemeteries? And if they are, what do you think about it?
And we have investigated several cemeteries, and we have caught a lot of stuff. So we believe in spirits staying around their graves.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm all for that, man. I like to hang out and see what's going on, man. See how my body is doing. If it's regenerating. Yeah. I mean, if I can regenerate my body after death, man, I'll be a bad man. the only problem is I got to dig myself out of a 6-foot hole. You know what I'm saying?
Your spirit never goes into that 6-foot hole.
Right. So, all right. Hey, so last question. I'm going to get you guys out. Your paranormal bucket list. Where would you guys like to go to investigate, man? Everybody has one. I got one. Where would you guys like to go?
We have recently, in the past, 3 or 4 years, been able to go to several different places. There's a lot of them that is in the Northeast, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. Some of the haunted hotels, and I think there was one that was a train station up in Pennsylvania that is no longer. You can go and investigate, but I know we want to go to Penn State. That's one. We like to go to Penn State and investigate there.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Any other place you guys would like to go? I mean, there's so many other locations.
Right. I know. And it's like, let's see. I'm trying to think. What are some of the places you like to go and investigate that we haven't been able to go to
I
yet?
would like to go to St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Yeah, that's one. Okay, I forgot about that
The
one.
St. Augustine Lighthouse, we've been to a few lighthouses, and we found some pretty good things. St. Augustine Lighthouse would be totally awesome,
Yeah.
especially if you get some of the things that other people have gotten there. It's been about, I'll bet you 12. Yeah, I think it's been 12 years since we've been to Trans-Allegheny. That would be awesome to go back there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
kind
I
of-
know there's, I mean, we're always hearing and finding places that, we want to go to, especially a lot of the old prisons. We
Well,
think that,
and then there's several in Indiana. They're just an hour from each other. And we just discovered those. And I mean, they
Right.
seem like paranormal hotspots off the charts.
Mm.
and they're in a triangle. One's here, here, and here.
Well, there's 5 of them.
Well, there's five, but I mean, well, that one it's set up in a triangle. So, and they say if it's set up in a triangle, that's a portal.
Yeah. So,
Debatable. I mean, that's debatable. We can debate on that one.
Yeah, they
okay.
say.
That would be a good debate. All right, guys. Now, one last question, and I want you guys to be honest with me. Leslie, I'm gonna pick on you.
all right.
Give me your 5 most haunted cities in America, Leslie style.
Mm.
Well, I was going to say, are you going by the norm or just the ones that I have found?
Well, okay, we're going to go by one. We're going to go by the history of the city, the location of the city, and let's see, and what else? And let's go by, oh, well, you know what? We'll just go by those 2 because those 2 are probably the most important basis for a haunted city. History and location.
Okay, so I'm going to say I have always kind of been a little off of the radar. I don't always go by the norm or something published. And anyone can laugh at me if they will.
Okay.
But I can honestly say, if we go by that, what would be? We could say what would you say over in Illinois?
Okay, we got a lot down the Mississippi. So,
Well, not the Mississippi. We're gonna go by town.
well, that's what I'm saying though. But I mean, they were down
Close
just
to the
on
Mississippi.
right down by the
Where you at,
Mississippi
Liz?
River. So, I would say over in Barry, Illinois.
I was gonna say Barry, Illinois. It's
Okay.
a small town,
Yes.
but we have had more haunted locations in and around Barry, Illinois, and
Including
I mean,
the cemetery.
Mm.
we're
Okay.
not just cemetery though. We're
Right.
talking that town,
Yeah.
the
it's-
town next to it, Frankfort, Missouri.
Right.
Or
Or
Frankfort,
Illinois.
Illinois. It was Frankfort, Illinois. But everything is in that area was,
Right.
I have to say, more than Denver, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, Estes Park, where the Stanley Hotel is. I
Right.
have to think that was the most populated haunted area.
Yeah, we had Barry, Illinois. About 27 miles away was Quincy, Illinois. About thereabouts is Hannibal, Missouri.
And I have to throw in Leslie Reynolds.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Leslie Reynolds is like a beacon She can find paranormal stuff like you wouldn't believe. And she is the sweetest, most awesome lady, but she gets the paranormal stuff to us like nothing. And the first time she contacted us, I thought, okay, really nice, sweet lady. Second time, I'm like, okay, really nice, sweet lady. The third time, I'm like, okay, is she a little bit off, sweet lady? No, third time.
Yeah.
Leslie Reynolds proved the third time to lead us to an awesome, not once, not twice, but 3 times, this awesome investigation. The fourth time, Leslie Reynolds, she led us to an awesome investigation. The fifth time, she led us to an awesome investigation, and it was all within like Barry, Illinois.
Right. It's all right in that 27 mile radius.
Yes.
I mean, it's just all right there. But and like they say, water is a big connector in
Right.
conductor in the spirituality in hauntings, if that's what you want to call it, so and just coming here to Missouri and everything, that Mississippi River all the way down to Nala, because we've been down to Nala and had investigations down there, big time. Baton Rouge, all the way down, Memphis, Tennessee. We've hit a lot, and it's all. I'm not just saying the Mississippi. I'm just saying water. Period. Like that. So yeah, I mean it's
and
been
that's
great.
Something else too. We have gaps in between, even gaps here in Missouri and in Colorado, Utah, Kansas. We do have gaps, but I'm sure as you know, there are people willing to share their experiences.
Pour in the bowl.
We definitely honor those people that want their privacy, so we don't, publish our findings on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, any of those. But we have definitely had more in Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Kansas. There are not so many people willing to share. And Iowa, you're right, Iowa's another one. We've had a lot of investigations up there, but only 2 people willing to share.
Right.
Interesting. And the West is really uncharted. There's so much there that's yet to be discovered. I was going to say from the Midwest all the way west. I mean, it's unbelievable. There are places where no paranormal investigators have ever stepped on before. Compared.
Talking about the same thing because we live there in Colorado. We're right there at the Wyoming Utah border. Going west, it's hardly we hardly get anything going west.
And if we do, no one wants us to air it.
Right.
I get really, I feel bad for my team out here that we come out so they can totally have a holiday. Like I said, we just went and done an investigation that was important.
Yes.
But I understand our team needed a break. We come out here to do this, and out here people are so much more, I want the investigation. Sure, you can air it. You get just not too far, Kansas City. Kansas City seems to be the line to Oklahoma, everywhere from that point up north, south. Like, nope, don't share it. Don't want anyone to know you were here. And then you go from that point on, like I said, Barry, Illinois, Chicago, Juliet, all those. They're like, yeah, go ahead and air it. Go ahead and do it. And I'm like, whoa, that was easy. We're not saying you have to. No, go ahead. I want people to know. But I don't know if it's the way the religion is. And once again, I'm not not picking on religion, not saying anything. I don't.
Right.
But it's almost is like a religion thing.
Well, I was going to say, and that's something else that we've also noticed is more and more of the Bible Belt is more open to the paranormal now, because it used to be, oh no, you don't talk about that, you don't even think about that. And now they're the ones that are actually calling us in to do these investigations as people in the Bible Belt.
Well, guys, I actually think this is just my opinion. I think as the baby boomers are dying off, the younger generation, as much as they are a pain in the neck, they are a little bit more open-minded as far as, the baby boomers and my grandfather and, all those people that are true Southern Baptists. Those are the ones that want to keep things in a tight-knit little book. But the generation that is coming out now are, true Southern Baptist goers. They're a little bit more open-minded. Right. So I think as time goes along, that's going to become the new norm. Well, okay, I am Baptist, but yet my eyes and my ears are open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think once that gets going, I think you definitely going to see a big shift in religion when it comes to us and paranormal investigators. I see it, and it's happening every day down here. But you still got those few individuals that has their hands entangled in things and want to keep things their way. So give it another 10 years, I think you'll see the shift in that. Yeah. And it's going to be something everybody's going to notice. From Texas all the way to Florida, from Florida all the way up to, what is the Bible Belt end at? I was going to say Kentucky.
Oh, no, it's all the way up in Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong, but it might go farther than that. I'm not quite sure. But you're definitely going to feel the difference. Residential investigation is going to become a little bit more of a norm. People are going to be a little bit more opened up and so on and so on. But yeah, man, guys, last question. Well, for you, Leslie, because you ran off on me. Where would you like to go on your bucket list, and why would you like to go?
Oh. Well, my bucket list isn't a normal bucket list. Does it have to be a place here on Earth? Probably.
You know what? Nobody's never asked me that question before.
I wished I could go to heaven and talk to everybody that I know, to spread everything good to everybody I know down here. But what is my bucket list? I guess I would say Mount Washington. I would love to go to Mount Washington.
That sounds good too. Yeah.
Okay.
Mount Washington, and that's an easily obtainable bucket list, I know. But Mount Washington just seems to have something that calls to my soul. And maybe that's because of my current spirituality, learning that I would like to go there. Maybe there's family there or something, but I think that would be awesome to go to communicate with the other side.
And if I'm right, I might be wrong on this, but I don't think a lot of people have climbed that mountain.
Well, Mount Washington is actually a town. And there's a hotel that looks exactly like the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
Now, if I was climb a mountain, that wouldn't happen.
Mhm.
I've got two hip replacements. One here, I'm getting ready to go December 15th. I have my right shoulder replaced, and my back is fused. I'm not going to be climbing any real mountains. I just
No. Okay. All right. Hey guys.
be like, don't, you're going to die. You can't move that well, dude.
You know, a lot of you guys discussed a lot of towns that you possibly think might be the most haunted, but you guys didn't mention one particular town. And before we get out of here, I'm gonna say that town, and I just want you guys to tell me what you think. You've probably been there before, and that's Savannah, Georgia.
Actually, that's one place we've never been.
We haven't been.
Oh, really? Wow.
We've stayed off the beaten path.
Right. Now, we've been told, about going down there and the different places to go there and
Now,
everything.
we have had one investigator that has been down there about a dozen times. Patty Fitzgerald on our Missouri team has been down there to investigate. We personally have not. Now, Patty has told us some good stories about down there, but I guess to me it's been a little bit too commercial.
Yep.
See, I was a truck driver, so I've been there before. I just never been there to investigate before. So.
And you know what, Leslie? I agree with that. I totally agree with you on that. It's too commercialized, and everybody and their grandmother are paranormal investigators down there. Hell, even the damn cat is a paranormal investigator because he's probably seen some stuff. But a lot of these locations today are heavy over commercialized. For an example, the Myrtles Plantation. The Myrtles Plantation was, for the longest time, one of America's or Louisiana's kept best paranormal secret.
Yep.
But once he got out, you can throw that one right out the window.
Well, I was going to say, we've been to the Myrtles twice and investigated.
But we got things unlike other investigators. We didn't get the typical stuff. We had different things, which, okay, now call me ignorant. Not, how do I say this without sounding stupid? A lot of my stuff I've done unintentional with getting us investigations. Whether sometimes the businesses have called, other times I've just kind of went with intuition, or went with several people writing to us and saying, we went to this place, we have this experience, and instead of going online and looking it up, I'm like, okay, we've had 3 people write us, 3 people have had this, this, and this, not the same experience. Why don't we go? And I never Google. I've never looked it up.
Right.
Not all places, but there are some places that I'm like, okay, we've had all of this come to us. Let's look. We've went. The Myrtles was one of those, but after we were there the first time, after getting what we got, we did the research. We online Google what we had, and it versed what we ended up receiving.
Right.
So that was something that was interesting. We went in with a blind mind with most of what other people had experienced, but some that we had not. So we went back a second year just to see. Now, our minds, you could say we're tainted, but I hope everybody knows we did try to keep an open mind.
Right.
And we had yet received something that was totally unexpected.
So you got to go on and watch our YouTube channel and watch our videos in the Myrtle Plantation. You'll see what we're talking about.
But I see exactly what you're saying, and that's what I say is we really do kind of look at things different.
Right. I mean, we don't go in with the, okay, now we're going to catch this because, Taps caught it, or we're going to catch this because Ghost Adventures caught it. We're going to catch
Or
this
Ghost
because,
Brothers.
or Ghost Brothers, or whoever, because they caught it. That's what we're going to get. No, we go in and we're like, all right, it would be great if we caught that, but we want something different. We want something that we can say, this is us,
Right.
And that's something, like I was saying, the places in Indiana, December 1st, they go on sale. And I'm approaching 20 years of doing paranormal investigations, 16 years of being self-paranormal. And I'd never heard of these places. Okay.
Right. We're
I'm
finding
kind
places all the
of
time.
naive, but I'm just like, oh, really? This is going on? Where's this at? And the lady's like, oh, we have a repeat offender. So we kind of booked 3 places all at once. But once again, and we stop there. We're not looking. We're not digging for anything. We just want to go. Okay, They've said they've had paranormal activity. Let's go see what it is.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what our thrill is. We don't want to know what you know. We don't want to know what the next door neighbor knows or Kelly knows.
And we want something different. We want something that, hey, it happened to us, and not just because of everybody else.
Right.
You say, hey, this is ours now. We caught this there.
Because Ghost Hunters is famous for places. Ghost Adventures is famous.
Right.
I'm hoping we go to one of these places in Indiana this summer, and that becomes our place. That's ours.
Right. You
prove us wrong instead of us going and proving
you.
Right. See, like the past 2 summers, we went down to Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky. And we actually caught one of the doctors, and he stayed there and talked to us that nobody else had talked to.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So it was like, okay, we were like one of the first ones that ever caught him and caught his voice on tape. He stood there, like, I'm going to say, 10 minutes-ish, and talked to us, answered our questions and everything. They're like, well, we don't know who that is. And then they went back in history, and it's like, well, my gosh, that doctor was here, like one of the very first doctors when it opened up.
Interesting, guys. Wow. All right. Hey, tell the world, Leslie, how to get a hold of Self Paranormal from Craig, Colorado.
Well, there's 2 ways you guys can get a hold. Okay, well, more than 2 ways. The best 2 ways to get a hold of Self Paranormal Investigations is going to be through Self Para, SELPRA. Man, that person's talking when I am.
Go ahead.
Anyway, Self SELFPARA at outlook.com or 660-332-7718. You can go to selfparanormalinvestigations.com and contact us through email there. Man, the ghost on your side is really noisy.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Wow. It's really disappointing in the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how you guys can get a hold of us.
Okay. Any closing statements that you guys would like to make before we get out of here?
Nope, that's it.
All right, guys. Hey, you guys want to reach out to Self Paranormal, and he just gave you guys all the information that you guys need. If you're ever up in northwest Colorado in a little town called Craig, look these guys up. You guys willing to go hang out with them, go in investigation. I'm pretty sure these guys will help you out. Now, all you guys that on Facebook, hey, let's get these numbers up, man. They're at 1.6 followers and 1.5 likes. Let's see by the end of the night, man, we can get those numbers up for these guys. But with that said, hey, Leslie, it's been a pleasure speaking with you and your team. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least it wasn't the annoying thing that was going on when we were talking.
I don't know. I guess these headphones are weird, man. I might have to send. Hey, might be an attachment to these things. I might have to send them back. All right, guys. Hey, man, it has been a pleasure to speak with you guys. I really appreciate you coming on the show. And normally in about 2 months, Leslie, I'll give you a call back after the holiday to see how you guys are doing, to see how if things have changed, and if things have gotten where you guys want to be. You know what I'm saying? Either way, guys, I will give you guys a call back just to say hello. But with that said, hey guys, you guys stay spooky up there, man. You guys doing a great thing, man. Keep up the good work and just keep doing what you're doing. It seems like you guys are headed in the right direction. In the meantime, this is Terry with NSPS TV. Guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I am somewhere here in the United States. I'm not for sure where, but I will be somewhere. And until then, peace. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good Lord's
Bye.